Good morning. I'm Todd Umbenhauer, President of the Pennsylvania Association of Realtors. Thank you for such a great turnout this morning. Welcome to Pennsylvania's magnificent capital. We're gathered here today to talk about the great American dream of buying a first home. As a realtor for more than 40 years, I've seen many first-time buyers struggle to come up with enough cash for down payment and closing costs. In fact, my daughter and son-in-law recently purchased their first home, and they would have loved to have been able to save a little more toward their purchase. And they are not alone, which is why we are all so excited about the First-Time Homebuyers Savings Account Program. Joining us to talk about the merits of the legislation are Representative Ryan Bizzarro, Representative Rosemary Brown, Representative Jamie Santora, and Representative Sue Helm. We have other members of Congress here with us today as well. First, I would like to introduce Representative Bizzarro, one of the prime sponsors of House Bill 1981, who's here to talk about the strong support this legislation has. Representative Bizzarro.
Thank you. Wow, thank you all for joining us here today. Many Pennsylvanians dream of owning a home, but it's a dream that too many are unable to reach, especially our younger Pennsylvanians. They're plagued with low wages, overwhelming student loan debt, and homeownership seems unachievable. In fact, more than half of the respondents in the survey identified student loans as an obstacle to homeownership. A recent study ranked Pennsylvania as having the highest average of college debt per borrower, staggering more than $35,000 in student loan debt. That is a huge number. In the past 8 years, the share of first-time homebuyers nationally has fallen from 45% to 32%. That's why I'm pleased to introduce an innovative bipartisan legislation with my colleague, Rep. Rosemary Brown from Monroe County. Together, we introduced House Bill 1981, which would create the first-time homebuyer savings account program right here in Pennsylvania. This simple program would help many Pennsylvanians overcome the hurdles of owning a home. Our research shows that 80% of Pennsylvanians support the creation of the first-time homebuyer savings account program. I believe it's because homeownership is the embodiment of the American dream. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative Bizzarro. Now I'd like to invite another prime sponsor, Representative Rosemary Brown, to describe the economic benefits of this bill. Representative.
Thank you. Good morning. Good morning. I'm pleased to be here this morning as a co-sponsor to House Bill 1981 because the first-time homebuyer savings account plan is extremely smart for Pennsylvania. An economic study showed that this program could increase home purchases up to $4,000 annually. Research by the National Association of Realtors shows that the total economic impact of the sale of a typical home in Pennsylvania is more than $52,000. This would have an overall positive effect on Pennsylvania's economy, helping to spur additional economic activity, job creation, and higher earnings for households. It is estimated that the overall economic impact could be as much as $69 million. So where do we come up with these figures? The additional home sales would increase state tax revenues collected from the realty transfer tax, income taxes on increased earnings, and sales taxes on increased consumption. These added revenues would far exceed the tax deductions that homebuyers would receive to encourage savings. So in recap, it should be very clear that the first-time homebuyer savings account would be a win-win and would benefit both new homebuyers, but also strengthen our Pennsylvania economies and communities. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Representative Brown. Representative Sue Helm, a fellow realtor, will talk about how simple the program is.
Good morning, and thank you for coming here. I'm so thrilled to see everybody behind me, all these realtors from all over the state. So you know how important this bill is, that they took the time to be here today. But I'm proud to be here to announce my support of House Bill 1981. What I love about the First-Time Homebuyer Savings Account program is its simplicity. The program offers an incentive for you, your parents, or even your grandparents to open an account at your favorite financial institution and designate it as a first-time homebuyer savings account. Then you just start saving. The First-Time Homebuyer Saving Account program allows you to save up to $50,000 over 10 years, and the savings qualify as a tax deduction on your state income tax return. But it is not a handout. If you don't use the account to buy a home, you're responsible for paying the taxes on the money. And if you use the money for something other than a home purchase, there is a 10% penalty. When you're ready to buy your home, you can use a savings account to pay for a down payment and closing costs. It's just that simple. And as a realtor, I know firsthand just how much this account will help first-time homebuyers at the settlement table. This is so important. I think this is one of the greatest things the realtors are going to do, and it's going to help so many families in the future. So we need everyone's support. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative Helm. Representative Jamie Santora, who is also a realtor, will talk about how good this program is for communities.
Good morning, and thank you for being here today. It is my honor to be able to speak on this bill. I also want to acknowledge a couple of my colleagues that are here today, Representative Todd Stevens and Representative Alex Charlton. They both live in areas where first-time home ownership is achievable, and they're here to support this legislation. One aspect of being a realtor is helping someone actually achieve the dream of home ownership. I've watched many of my clients struggle to buy a home. They know that they're financially better off when they purchase a home. But sometimes it's overwhelming trying to save enough money for a down payment and closing costs. Research consistently shows that owning a home is better for families in the long term. And home ownership is good for communities. Home ownership promotes stable families and neighborhoods. Crime rates are lower in communities where residents own their homes. Children do better in school and are more likely to graduate. First-time homebuyer savings account program is critical to helping more Pennsylvanians achieve the American dream. That's why I support this legislation, and I hope all of my colleagues in the House will support this legislation. It is just critical. When you sit at a settlement table and you sometimes see first-time homeowners emptying out every last dime in their bank account in order to achieve home ownership, and then they can't move forward. They can't do any renovations. They can't even buy curtains for their house, furniture. This potentially gives them that opportunity. And I look forward to seeing this legislation passed in both the House and the Senate and on to the governor's desk and promoting more first-time home ownership. Thank you.
I just want to recognize a few of my colleagues. I too would be remiss if I did not recognize a few of my colleagues. First, we have Chairman Barrar. We have Representative Tina Davis and Representative Jean McNeil here with us as well today. So thank you for joining us, and thank you for supporting this legislation.
Thank you for that, and thank you for your comments, Representative Santora. And now I would like to introduce a special guest. Please give a warm welcome to Michelle Fournier, not just because she is a guest, but because she just joined the ranks of first-time homebuyers. Michelle.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here, but not half as excited as I am for being a first-time home buyer. I purchased my home 1.3 miles from my apartment, but it's more of 1,000 miles on what I'm going to gain from that home purchase. I thought how easily it was that I spent $50,000 in rent over the years with little to show for it. When I moved this past Saturday, I couldn't even take my tulips. Nothing was mine. I've been working at the same law firm for 15 years now. I decided to enroll as a full-time student to earn a degree, thinking that the degree would lead to a better salary and savings for a new home. But school also came with student loans and burdened me with costs for textbooks, and I had to buy a computer as well. So home ownership continued to elude me. But when my landlord raised my rent and made me responsible for my heating oil, that was it. I decided it's time to buy a home. I can't thank enough my realtor, Melanie Fox Waldron, and my lender for helping me make this happen. They made my dream a reality. The first-time homebuyers savings account program won't help me, but it will help many people who want what I have. They want to own a home too. Thank you.
Fantastic testimony. We really appreciate you being a part of this. Thank you so much. That's terrific, terrific. Well, congratulations on that. That's just really exciting. Thank you, Michelle. Thanks to our other speakers, and thanks to all of you for your support of the First-Time Homebuyers Savings Account Program. Now I encourage all of you to contact your legislators and urge them to support House Bill 1981 and Senate Bill 1066. Thank you all, and good day.